Alright, so this is day 2 on this Z50. So just to recap, I got it to start and run a little bit better. Noticed that the original spark plug, the gap was compressed, almost touching the electrode. So we swapped that spark plug out. I put a aftermarket new carb on, took the old aftermarket carb off, adjusted the valves, and we're gonna just kick it over here this morning and kind of do a little more tuning, see how good we can get it. So this is with choke on. Just gonna let it warm up. So choke off, it wants to stall. Gonna do a little investigation here. Alright, so it runs okay, not great on choke. And then when I bring choke off, it doesn't want to rev and it dies. So since I'm choking it, making the mixture richer, I'm going to add some more fuel to it to see if it responds any better. So I'm going to make an adjustment on my jet needle, and then we'll see if we get a better idle when choke's off. Alright, so I got my C-clip dropped one more on the needle, on the jet needle, and that makes it a little bit richer. So we'll check it out. A little bit better. That was with the choke off. Alright, so I made a few adjustments on this carb. I left the C-clip where it is. Turned the fuel screw, since it's on this side of the carb. You can have an air fuel screw on the carb. Since it's on this side of the slide, it's going to be a fuel screw. I turned it all the way back and locked it down. I turned it clockwise. Usually the starting point for me would be 1 1/4 turns for each, the air fuel screw on the carb and the idle screw. It's a good neutral setting. But what I had to do is turn this all the way closed, which is responsible for the idle circuit. I think it just was running too rich. So I turned it and closed it off, and it responds much better. So we'll kick it over. I make a little bit of adjustment to the idle. So it's running pretty good. I'm gonna take my test run now. Also, the muffler earlier had a lot of I didn't know if it was oil getting burned or if it was running rich, but it did smell pretty rich to me. Now that I've turned the air screw back and closed it off, I'm not getting as much of that exhaust smoke. So obviously it's running a lot better on the idle circuit right now. The motor likes it a lot more. It's revving good. Coming back down to idle good. So we're going to take it for a spin. I'm going to make another adjustment. I'm going to lean the jet needle out. I'm going to raise that C-clip one more time back up. Kind of feels really dull mid-throttle. Like it's maybe running a little rich in that area. So I'm going to bring it back up and see if we can get a little more throttle response mid-throttle. So I pulled the plug. We are running pretty rich, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean that off and then get that jet needle positioned in the middle. It's really tight in here, so I have to drop this carb and rotate it every time I need to get this cap off and pull the slide out, or else it hits the frame tube here, the main tube. This jet needle is responsible for like 20 to 75% of your twist throttle. So it comes into play around 15 or 20% of the twist, all the way up to about 70 or 75 or somewhere like that. The main jet is what takes over full throttle. So we're running pretty fat in the middle, mid throttle. So I'm going to make the adjustment on that jet needle. That's why I kind of hate working with these Chinese cars, because I'm limited in what I can do, but we'll make do with what we have. I can turn this and rotate, slide out. I'm actually going to bring it up from the middle notch up. I'm below the middle notch. I'm going to bring it above the middle notch to lean it out, just as an experiment to see where I can get. Don't forget your little clip that goes in, that holds the needle jet down, the jet needle. Spring. Alright, so let's take it for a ride now. Not happy. Just gonna pull the plug and look at it again. So I'm going to pop that needle back even higher now. It's my last adjustment I can make. I'm going to clean off this spark plug a little bit to help get me a better reading once I get that adjusted. Okay, so I got it all the way up at the top on the jet needle, the C-clip. Let's take it for a spin. I'm gonna take the air filter off real quick. I think I'm gonna check timing. Alright, I'm gonna check some timing, so we'll do the valve train cam timing first here. It's leaking from this cover anyways, so putting your gasket on. gonna button that up. Everything's good. I'm gonna use my timing light next. All right, let's use the timing light.
Actually, that was the wrong one, dude.
Alright, so it's showing retarded. It's kind of bouncing around a little bit, so I'm gonna look at that a little closer. Alright, so I got timing set here better, and it seems like it's gonna run better, so let's take it for a spin. Alright, running good now. So I had to work through all those details, but now we got a bike that's back to hitting the street. Gotta call the customer and let them know we're done. Thanks for watching.